Hello everyone, welcome to Magical Me. I'm Jamie Mendez, spiritual intuitive and oracle, and I'm here with my weekly Moon Day oracle message. This is definitely a different day from my ordinary days of doing this on Monday, so it might be a little confusing, throwing people off, but this is going to be a message for the week of March 16th, 2021. But before I get into anything, I just want to take a moment and make sure people can hear me okay, see me okay. So I'll just wait for some comments and people to pop in. Hey, Angela. How are you, lovely? Thank you for being here. How is the sound quality and the video quality? Is it okay for you? I mean, I guess you could say that. We're going to look on the bright side, MJ. We'll say I'm early for sure. Although I'm actually a day late. But, you know, I have aligned with divine time. So I work on their time, not mine. Awesome. Perfect. Just to be on the safe side, I am just going to unplug my mic and just plug it back in because it's just been the theme. All right, there we go. I did hear it a little differently when I plugged it in, so hopefully it does sound a little even better than that. Hey, Johanna. Welcome, love. It's good to see you here. How are you? Yeah, MJ. I know. Awesome. I love that. Hey, Shelly. Welcome. Hey, Julie. Welcome, beautiful. You gorgeous ladies for being here. All right, I am going to really quickly just share this and to my page and just make sure those who may have missed that I'm actually going live at 4 today, I'm just going to share it for them. So just bear with me. Hey, Laura, Jillian, welcome. Let's see. Okay. So how are you all doing? How has your week been so far? Okay, I think I got it. All good. Julie. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I feel ya. I am going to be talking all about that on my energy forecast. Hey, Rosemaria. Welcome, beautiful. Aw, well, thank you so much for being here, at least popping in, and you know the replay will be available, but I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day. Hi, Raham. Thanks for being here. It's good to catch you on a live. All right, so we're going to be talking all about that wild roller coaster type of energy in just a moment. So for anybody who is new to the Moon Day, the oracle reading, just going to explain really briefly how this works and what you can expect to find here this evening. So again, this is going to be an oracle message for all of us as a collective for the week of March 16th, 2021. And how it works is that before I actually go into the Moon Day message, I do like to talk about news and announcements that I have going on here at Magical Me. So by way of any classes or events, workshops, and also with my sister business, Oracles of the Light, because we kind of just, we're one, so we kind of cross share. I don't even know what that means, but we share both across both pages. So, hey, Dawn. Hi, Laura. Welcome. Glad you all could make it. Thanks for being here. I know this is not my regular time. I do normally go live on Mondays. That's why it's called Moon Day. Today is Tuesday, obviously, and usually the time is around 6 or 7 p.m. However, we're going to talk about that in a second because I do feel like that's beginning to shift. There's been really kind of like a pattern regarding me being unable to go live on Monday. So we'll talk about that in a second. But After news and events, then I like to discuss what's called my energy forecast or empathy forecast. And what that is my own intuitive feeling regarding what I have been noticing over the past week as far as energy goes, as far as feelings, emotions, thoughts, situations, whatever it is that I've been noticing within myself or even within others around me, within maybe some clients that have been reaching out, telling me different things. It's also a way of me discussing any notable planetary or astrological events going on that are really kind of just like plop in my lap or in my vision that are bringing up something for me to discuss to help others. So whether it be like a new moon, a full moon, some major astrological thing going on, I usually use that time to talk about that as well. So we'll be doing all of that after the energy forecast. Then I pull the Moon Day card, and that is from an oracle deck. So how I do this is utilizing oracle cards, depending on whatever it is I'm intuitively drawn to, as well as my own intuitive or psychic abilities to interpret that message. I do set the intention that the messages that come forward are more of a generalized overview of highest good for all of us and what we really need to know going into the energy of the week. So it gives us a little bit of an awareness or a heads up as to how to flow harmoniously versus when we don't have that heads up or awareness, we're really going into it blindly. And by doing so, it tends to, it makes it a little bit more challenging for us. Having awareness is more than half the battle. So that's why I do this. It is not individualized personal readings here. If you are interested in a one-on-one reading with me, I do offer them privately. You can reach out to me, message me privately for my rates or for the different types of readings I offer, as well as over on my sister business, Oracles of the Light, and the different readings that we all offer together. I also offer healing sessions both remotely and in person, so something to consider if you feel called to do so. And the readings, again, they are, the Moon Day reading here is really set to be in divine timing. And I do set the intention that all those that are meant to hear the messages that come forward, they find themselves here. It doesn't matter if you're watching this live, it doesn't matter if you're watching the replay months from now, years from now, whenever you come upon it, it's because there is something of resonance for you that's going to, bring some clarity or some awareness into your life for your own unique journey. All right. So I think that about covers it. After the Moon Day message, then I do like to go into working with a mudra. And I'll talk more about what mudras are when we get there. So I see quite a few of you just starting to pop in. So I'm going to just scroll up. Hey, Rob. Welcome. Thanks for being here. I'm glad you can make it live. An amazing oracle. Love my reading. Totally recommend Jamie's healings. Aw, thank you so much for that. I appreciate you. Awesome. Hi, Willa. Welcome. Thanks for being here. If I missed anybody's comments, don't be afraid to send them again. Facebook has been hiding a lot of comments during the live, and I only get to see them afterwards. So, I'm not ignoring anybody. I do my best to try to, communicate with everybody. So, all right then, let's get into it. News and announcements. Let me see. I don't really think there are any more news and announcements for the month of March. We haven't really got into planning April yet. The only thing that I have going on is a in-person Yusoi Reiki Level 1 certification course that is in person on March 27th. I believe it's the last Saturday in the month of March. That is an all-day event. The deadline to register for that is this Saturday, the 20th. So if you're interested in more information on what Reiki is, what you can expect in this course in person, then you can check out the event that I've created on Magical Me, as well as Oracles of the Light, and reach out to me with any more questions. I also do offer Reiki Level 1 and Reiki Level 2 all the time in an online course. It is a pre-recorded class, and then we schedule your one-on-one energy attunement. So if you're interested, you are not local to my area, which is Phillipsburg, New Jersey, or the Lehigh Valley, Pennsylvania area. If you're not local to me and you still would like to take a course with me, just reach out to me and we can talk about that further. Okay? What? The magic... That's my magical goblet. Yes, my magical chalice without the stem. Thank you. Hey, Allie. Welcome, gorgeous. All right, so yeah, that's pretty much it for news and announcements. I don't have a lot going on at this time. Using a lot of time for myself to really rest, reflect, integrate. So we're going to go right into, on that note, the energy forecast and what has been going on. You'll notice that I was not here yesterday, right? So I did post why. I, out of nowhere, experienced a really intense download energetically, and it knocked me off my feet completely. It started with a massive, I felt a lot of energy coming into my crown chakra and into my third eye. And then it slowly transformed into like a full-on migraine. And it was like the entire right side of my face. And I was receiving a lot of messages that I just needed to rest, relax, and allow it to come in and just allow it to integrate. It was making for lots of clearing out. Goes along with some other things that I had experienced, so I'm going to talk about that too. But then also, I was having really intense heart palpitations and starting to feel like when your chest gets really tight. And the pain wasn't just coming in the front, it was coming in the back as well. So when I tuned into that, it was giving me the message that I was receiving high frequency heart chakra as well as high heart chakra upgrades and expansion. So that goes into the Pisces new moon that we experienced on the 13th. And it seems that there has been quite a series of events leading up to that new moon, as well as after that new moon. So I'm just going to, not even sugarcoating it. That new moon knocked me on my ass. I was not expecting that at all. I do pretty good with the energy for the most part. It really did knock me down in a way that prior to even what I was experiencing, now we're talking about Julie was talking about the roller coaster. That's exactly what it felt like. So leading up to the new moon, prior to the weekends, I actually started feeling these unusual feelings for me, which were a lot of I don't know if I want to use the word loathing, but I was getting a lot of self-loathing type of feelings, like feeling unworthy, like I wasn't good enough, like I wasn't intelligent enough. Just feeling like a lot of shadowy things coming in. And so I sat with that for a little while and tuned into it. And I did get that it was on a collective level, but clearly, I'm not different from the collective. So it's also some my own stuff to tune into. And I was shown a black dragon, and the black dragon was representative of my shadow self. So there were a lot of emotional and mental thoughts being triggered with this new moon, and feelings being triggered, and they were coming up to show us these old limiting patterns, beliefs, feelings that are just no longer serving us, and they cannot go with us as we shift and grow and expand. We are building up to the spring equinox, or depending on where you are in the world, the fall or autumnal equinox. So we are building up to that on Saturday the 20th, and that is like an energetic, it's an energetic rebalancing, like a reset, because it is all about balance, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But it's opening the doorway to a portal. So as I was, tuning into all of this, it was showing me all of this stuff that needed to come up, but not in a way so much that needed to be released, which is a little different for me. It was in a way that needed to be integrated. It was bringing up specific things for me, especially regarding my divine masculine energy, needing to be integrated into my feminine, and things that my feminine was pushing away. Now, I don't mean externally, I mean internally, as you know that we are all feminine and masculine energy within. So it really was a good time for me to sit and go within myself to deal with all of these triggers, all of these feelings that were coming up, as to how I can honor them, understand them, and bring them into myself, bring them into my light, if that makes sense. So I see some of you are commenting too, and I don't want to get too far off and miss you, what you're saying here. Laura says it was so intense. Oh my God. Like a breakthrough. Oh yeah, I think I might have actually said I feel like I'm losing my mind at one point, and it's just not like me. I'm really, for the most part, I feel into my emotions. I feel into and I'm very expressive, so everybody knows what's going on when I feel something. But this was a little different for me. This was like, I might be losing it, Rob says, new moon was my birthday and Shiva Christ Day celebrations. Big surge. Oh, yeah, you were right there in that, right? In that window. And that's amazing, because definitely suggesting, such a major new beginning and rebirth period for you. For us all, but wow, for you being so close to your birthday there. The shadow came up so strong, but I sat with it and really felt it. Not easy, but I've been loving myself more. That's fantastic. That's exactly what we were meant to do. Yeah. Energy is crazy, blows through and leaves me wiped out. On the other hand, I'm cleaning my shadow baggage. Really awesome. Okay. Subconscious emotional mastery for sure. Yeah. Yeah, and that's one of the messages that I got. So thank you for saying that, Rob. One of the messages that I got was about this particular new moon cycle, at least for me, but I imagine it's possibly for the collective as well, depending upon, we're all at different levels in our life and spiritually. But for me, it was about stepping into self-mastery and, coming into my fullness or my full potential. And so it was really about me dealing with those things that were coming up to the surface in a way that I haven't done so before. And I know we talk about this a lot, where every dark moon rolls around, we're all being triggered, right? We've all got these shadows that are coming up. But there's so many layers. There's so much of us. We are so vast. So there's so much to deal with. And not only that, but some of us are working for the collective, as the collective. So we're transforming not only our own, but we're transforming for the collective as well. So I'm going to get back to everybody's comments in a second. Just bear with me here. So yeah, that's what I was really feeling. It was a lot of repressed stuff. And I actually took the time. And if you haven't done this already, I'm going to recommend this, because it took me to a different level. I sat down and I actually invited both my divine masculine and my divine feminine in to connect with me. And I asked and I held space, and I said to my divine masculine, what is it that you need from me? What is it? How can I honor you? And what was shared with me was pretty profound. I didn't really see that or acknowledge that maybe I was doing that to myself, or not even trusting, not trusting myself, not believing in myself. And then I did the same thing for my divine feminine, and it was beautiful. And it just helped me to propel out of that rut or that blocked cycle, if you will. So that was one part. The next part that I was feeling was the craziest lapse in like time. When I tuned into it, I felt like some of us are, and all of us maybe, are shifting timelines. We are literally in the process of untangling ourselves from the old timelines and changing into new timelines. So, for example, I had a client the other day, happened to be on the new moon, had a client, and I knew the time of the appointment. Coming to the day of, I suddenly no longer remembered the time of the appointment. I did, but I remember it in a different way. I remembered it at a different time. So it was like the memory was completely removed, and I had a whole new memory that was like inserted. So that's how you can tell when you're like changing timelines, because I specifically recalled having a conversation with this woman, and we set up for a specific time. I knew it, but for some reason on the day of, I suddenly had a completely different awareness, and it was like, no, I had to go back and check the conversations because I just thought I was losing my mind. So I ended up being 30 minutes late for this lovely, lovely woman and very understanding woman's session. And then later on throughout the day, it was like a time warp where time didn't exist, and next thing you know, it's 3 hours later. And then later on after that, I was another 30 minutes late for someone I was supposed to meet up with. So it was just weird. And that person that I met up with actually told me that they had a dream. And in that dream, the time on the clock, one person was seeing it as one time, the other person was seeing it as a different time. And it definitely was a message about being on a different timeline than the person that they were with in the dream, that they were no longer on that same time. So before I started the live today, I just sat down and tried to like ground my energy a bit and closed my eyes and connected. And I immediately had a flash of what looked like the Vesica Pisces, but it was different. Instead, the two circles came together, and in the center of the two circles, It looked like a, the two circles, outer circle, I don't even know how to say this, were wound together, like entangled together. And I heard untangling timelines. So we're getting ready to shift into a whole new time, a whole new way of being. And again, it's going to be different for all of us, but shifting and expanding and making jumps. And how we do this is through the integration of those emotions, those feelings, the thoughts, the patterns, the cycles, all of those things that have been coming into your awareness are coming up not to torment you, not to punish you, things that even coming back around. It is for you to integrate, for you to acknowledge, to accept. And then that is how we move on. So that was the one thing. Also, deep revelations. When you tune in, deep revelations coming in at the same time. There was also a lot of, I talked last week about the dreams and the intensity of dreams and what they're teaching us in that state. It's been really interesting because I've talked to quite a few people that have been having intense dreams, and it's really all over the place, whereas some having a little bit more of what could possibly be prophetic, some talking about reoccurring like nightmare type and shadow dreams. And nightmares, I just call them release dreams. They're shadow dreams to teach you what is ready to be released. But a lot of it is very teaching us in those astral realms, and there's a lot of learning that is happening. So great time to be setting intentions before bed, to ask for guidance or ask for your direction, ask for what needs to be healed. Powerful, powerful time for that. The other thing that's going on, as I talked about, is the spring equinox. And that is, and again, depending on where you're at in the world, it is the autumnal equinox as well. So it doesn't matter where you're at in the world, though, because during the equinox, it is a period of equal light and equal night. So that means that we are in perfect balance and perfect harmony. And what that equates to me intuitively is a reset. This is an opportunity, once again, for another reset. It's an opportunity for us to rebalance, realign. This is the perfect time to make the transition into a new timeline. Now, with that said, I've also been getting a lot of other messages about why we're going through all this right now. What is the intensity for? And it's because this is a rebirth of a new time. And every year we have the opportunity to be reborn. Every month we have the opportunity to be reborn. But there are different levels, different layers. And that's what this is. This is a big one. This is really allowing us to take hold or charge of our life and the direction in which it has been moving in, and to allow us to really move into a new time. New opportunities are going to be presenting themselves when we make these timeline jumps. New people, new contracts, new connections, all coming in to facilitate our forward movement where we want to go. One thing I've been hearing loudly is that there's a lot of new opportunities coming for us. Now, discernment is important, obviously, but it really also, the message that I was getting was, don't allow fear to hold you back from these new opportunities. Take them. Jump through the portal. All right. So at the same time, to kind of just corroborate that, the sun moves into the sign of Aries. Aries, so it's going to be Aries season, and Aries is the first sign of the zodiac year. So it's like the new year, if you will, for the zodiac wheel. And so that also brings about that energy of new beginning. So really being able to start new and moving into a completely new direction. With that said, Aries is ruled by the sign of fire, or the element of fire, I should say. And fire is deeply transformative, deeply destructive, but in a sense that it can, if you have hold of it, if you have the awareness of it, that fire does not have to be destructive. It could be releasing. It could be very therapeutic. It can clear out that in which has prevented your ascension. So using fire in that regard, but also to fuel your fire, fuel your passions, that soul fire. Use that to actually propel you forward. All right. 2 days in a row, I pulled the Phoenix card and the Morrigan. So that's also her area. So pretty potent energy. And we haven't even gotten to the Moon Day message yet. So, hey, Nikki. Hey, Jen. Thanks for being here. Laura says, I've been having really vivid dreams. I feel like a release after I wake up if I can't remember the dream. Oh, yeah. Okay. And sometimes, sometimes it's not important for us to remember the dream. Just the knowing, and that feeling, like you said. Nicole, hey, Nicole, welcome. I lost 2 whole hours last Wednesday because I thought it was Thursday. Yeah, I'm telling you, that was exactly how I was feeling. Julie says, I taught a Reiki class, and during the Reiki share, the one woman said she only had 15 minutes and time stopped so she can get a full session from a class. I love that. That's awesome. Time's been so strange, and then we went through the time change. So that's true. Yeah, good. Thank you for bringing that up, Laura. We did. Over here in the United States, we actually did go through daylight savings this past weekend. That isn't a coincidence at all. It happened exactly when it was meant to happen. And so we did make a jump, if you will. And that was Sunday. So that was the day after that I had those experiences on Saturday. Hi, Karen. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Major purges. Can say why I put off the Kuan Yin meditation. Yeah. Okay, so anything, hi Donna. Anything that I missed, I will go back and check it out after the live is done, all right? So, Dragon Fire, yeah, absolutely. And I've been working with the dragon energy. They've been coming in strong. So I'm just kind of, I'm riding that wave there. Awesome. All right. Anxiety. Oh my goodness. Bella too, you guys should get together and talk about it. And Bella woke me up the other day. She was like, Mom, I need to do something. I'm having like anxiety and I don't know what to do with it. But it had, she's also having it with the dream and stuff. So definitely talk to Bella about it. But yeah, message me if you're still struggling with it. But I'm telling you, I'm not someone who has ever really had the experience of having anxiety or panic attacks. But I have noticed that when I'm having heart upgrades or expansion, it kind of simulates an anxiety or a panic attack. And I can completely understand what people who do suffer from them go through, because at one point I kind of looked over at my daughter and I was like, oh my God, I think I'm dying. And I wasn't joking. I was like, I think I have to go to the hospital. It was that intense. So lots of water, all right? Water is really going to help everybody when you're feeling this high waves of energy, especially with the energy headaches. Lots and lots of pure spring water if possible. Lots of grounding your energy. And I know depending on where you are, you can't necessarily get out in nature, but just sitting in a light where the sun is, or a window when the sun is coming in, and allow yourself to drink in the solar rays, really pulling them even into your root chakra, your solar plexus. It's really going to help neutralize a lot of the excess energy, pushing those roots down deep into Mother Earth and connecting into your Earth star. If you have a tree outside in your yard, you don't have to be outside with it. You can connect with it through through telepathy, and just connecting into the roots of that tree, asking you to help ground your energy. So lots of things that we can do. Mudras as well. All you have to do is do a quick search for Google mudras for grounding. Very simple ones. My favorite one is the Boo Mudra. It's like you're making a peace sign, but bring your fingers together, hold your thumbs down, and point your hands downward. So it's like you're conducting the current and the flow of energy down into Earth. And just take some deep breaths in with that, okay? All right, loves, moving along. So, no surprise here, I'm back on my Dragon Fae flow. So, working again with the Oracle of the Dragon Fae by Lucy Cavendish for our message. So since we are all energetically connecting in space together right now, I'm just going to ask you to come into sacred space with me. Just to close your eyes. I'm just going to have you all take a nice deep breath in. And just allow all stress and worry and thought to just start to melt away. As you release your breath, just channel that energy out and into the earth beneath you. Again, take another nice deep breath in. And just allow your mind just to start to drop into your heart space. Releasing all tension in your body. Unclenching your jaw, dropping your shoulders. And one last time, take another nice deep breath in. And release. All right. All right, so we're just going to be calling in the guidance now for the week of March 16th, 2021. And what the collective good, what we all most need to know for the collective good. Ooh, all right then. Hold on one second. Let me get a sip of water for this one. Wasn't expecting this one. I'm going to connect into it for a second, so give me a minute. All right, well, I'm going to start with the number first. It's a 23, which is the number 5. So 5 is the number of expansion. It's the number of growth. It is the number of change, all right? So with that change comes some challenge. Everything being presented as an opportunity for your growth to help you to ascend into, or I should say transcend, any cycles, any patterns. So everything we talked about with the empathy forecast, because even though, some of you might be experiencing it or have experienced it already, some of you may not have experienced that stuff yet, and it might be still in the process of coming in. So now you have the awareness. So that number 5, 2021 is the year of a 5. So it's all about our ascension, our ability to be able to transcend limitation and to propel into a higher vibration, into higher timelines, into higher journeys and paths, all right? So forward movement as well. But lots of energy with the 5 is about teaching and learning, becoming wiser for what we experience, if you will. So expect energy of change this week. Expect, again, those downloads, those upgrades, just that, and moving into, as we continue to build up the mountain, we're moving up the mountain into the equinox energy where we plateau. You're going to be experiencing a lot of opportunity for change and reevaluating yourself, your thoughts, your patterns, your limitations. What limitations have you set for yourself? Things like that. So, with that said, without further ado, the card is the Lovers at the Feast, and it says conscious, aware eating. Well then, right? So first of all, my eyes are going right to the apple on this card, and the fact that she bit the apple. And there is a woman who I have taken some of her courses before in the past. Lovely Holly Rhiannon is her name. And one of the things that she shares is this beautiful message regarding the apple, and it says, bite the apple and remember. And I love that. It always just stuck with me. Hey, Annie. Hey, Derek. Eleanor, welcome. So I just pulled the card, and it is the Lovers at the Feast, right? So bite the apple and you'll remember. And the apple is representative of fertility. It has the seeds to plant new, right? But it's also that the fruit of wisdom is believed to be the fruit that hangs from the world tree or the tree of life. And so, not going into all of the religious stuff because, when anybody start yelling at me, but let's just say, that from a different perspective, the biting of the apple is helping us to remember the truth, remember who we truly are, remember our origins. The tree of life to begin with is us as that connection above and below, creating heaven on earth. So it's this profound symbolism of remembering the truth, remembering who you really are. And again, that fertile energy, that time for what it is that you are able, you're very fertile energetically able to, I'm going to say, yes, this could be literally, you could be very fertile. So great time for planting some other kind of seeds, but all sorts of seeds at this time for new growth and what it is that you can create and bring into your life, right? Now, going into the whole lovers at the feast, it says conscious, aware eating. That makes me feel like what was once considered possibly taboo, and it really goes into the understanding of the apple as well. What was once taboo, no longer feeling as such. It almost makes me feel like these beliefs that we were programmed with or conditioned due to religion, upbringing, just ancestrally, whatever it might be, that, you know, we have these like man-made beliefs regarding certain things and temptation, and what it is to be considered bad for us might actually be us resisting due to limitation. Does that make sense so far? I hope you're following me, because might be going here on a tangent, but it makes me feel like there is this whole new perspective, the opportunity to see things from a different angle. You know, it's interesting we're talking about the world tree, because isn't it the god Odin who actually was hung from the world tree? And I see that as not hung in a bad way. I see it as like hung as the hanged man in the tarot deck, which is to be able to flip yourself upside down and see life from a different perspective, see it from a different angle. So it does feel to me, it's like looking at these things that we have considered, or maybe didn't consider before as taboo, or maybe not for us. We're now beginning to look at these situations with new eyes, with a new light, and seeing them in a new way. Also, being able to now see things that actually might be good for us. So it's like the nurturing, you know, with eating the apple, it's like kind of nurturing yourself. And lovers at the feast, it's about bringing conscious, aware eating. To me is all about what it is that is good for us, how we nurture ourselves, not solely internally, but like being your, I'm just going to go to the, like, put aside the whole lovers aspect, and it's about coming more into love with yourself. And I do feel like that's what this Pisces new moon was actually triggering within us. That's why it triggered the shadow of the self-loathing for some, anger, feeling not, you know, not good enough, not capable. It was actually, and even some of us might have been feeling, what's this? I'm picking up this feeling right now of like someone not seeing you, not being recognized. That's what I'm picking up. So it's about recognizing that you are your biggest lover, that it's about falling in love with yourself, and those feelings that were triggered within you that want to have that, to be loved, to be seen, to be worthy, to be understood, is to essentially be in love with life all over again, and being in love with yourself. And that is the most important relationship that there is. It's love with you, and building you, and growing you, and nurturing you, regardless of external factors, regardless of the perception of lack. Okay? We have been in the void. We've been there since after the winter solstice, I want to say. We've been there, and we are no longer going to be in the void as of the equinox coming up on the 20th. So we're getting ready to be reborn. So all of these things that we've been experiencing have been to tempt us to wake up, to see the truth, to see things from a different perspective, right? So now, with that said, I'm going to go to the elephant in the room, which is the lovers. And to me, this is about a divine union, not just solely the divine union within the self. It's also the divine union of the external, but that can't come. Just know this, okay? I want to make this very clear. Divine union externally cannot come until there's divine union internally. So that relationship with the self is so important. So now we have the divine union externally. And now this does not have to be in a romantic partnership. This can be in the sort of partnership that is a divine collaboration. It could be you and your relationship with a job, with a career, you embarking upon something else and it being at divine coming together. So it does make me feel like there is this week the opportunity to see something that you weren't able to see before because of the shadow clouding your eyes, because the veil of illusion that was placed over you. This week it is about being able to see that situation and the potential that there is to create something incredibly profound from it. So to me, this is about like a coming home, where it makes me feel like these were two souls, two individuals. And again, I'm using this very loosely, all right? I take this how it interprets for yourself. But I'm saying it in a more symbolic way, that these two souls, right, that they have been kind of, they were at the feast and unable to connect up until that point. And the feast, they became more aware of that connection coming together as one now and allowing themselves to rid themselves of the illusion of separation. Okay, so I hope that makes sense to everybody and that you're with me so far. So long story short, this is really about divine unions coming in, partnerships, collaborations, difference of perspective, shifting and seeing things from a higher vantage point. With new eyes and new awareness, because as you move through that shadow, as you release, or I shouldn't even say release because it's more of the integrate, the more of the integration, the more you are able to actually see clearer and see truth for what it is. Now, it's interesting that I actually went into the whole bit about when my shadow came up, I was intuitively guided to talk to my divine masculine and my divine feminine. So this is something that if you feel called to do so, you absolutely should. Because I do see how it really does bring about the integration of those polarities. And it's like it's allowing your divine feminine, your divine masculine to communicate together. And it helps you to recognize what each of them need in order to attain wholeness, to feel wholeness, to come into that integration, if you will. Taking it a step further, this isn't something that I like to talk about too much because it's a very big topic and it takes it to a whole nother level, and it definitely gets altered. But twin flames, divine partnerships, sacred partnerships, alchemical marriage, there could be potential for that occurring if it has not already come into your radar. It's something that could be presented to you. I'm not going to talk about the whole full understanding of what twin flame and sacred partnerships are, because I will be here for the rest of the night, if not into tomorrow. It's an incredibly complex and very sacred divine union and partnership and magic, but it isn't solely to be confused with romantic. It's very sacred. I like to see them as like the order of angels that are coming here to anchor higher divine source love on earth. So this is something that is above and beyond what we understand as soul mates, all right? So this coming in, lots of shifting, growth, and changing. And even if you're not aware of it, for those of you who are twin flames, because not everyone is, but for those of you who are aware or not aware of that twin flame journey, it could be taking a bit of a shift in the higher realms, things happening in dream states, astral realms, and then you might begin to see things shifting in your physical. So I don't want you to get hung up on that. I don't want you to get hung up on who's my twin, do I have a twin? No, because the most important factor of a twin flame union and partnership is the relationship with yourself. As you work on you, as you grow you heal the partnership. All right, and that brings union closer together. So just being mindful of all of that this week. I know that was quite a bit. That's why I laughed when I saw the card, because I was like, oh boy. There's quite a bit with that. But taking away the best part of that is that we are ready for something new. We are ready to allow ourselves to be free. Part of that is to allow yourselves to be vulnerable as well. And being vulnerable, allowing yourself to toss or set aside all of the preconceived notions and limitations of life and what you've believed up until this point, that's incredibly brave, and it is incredibly vulnerable. And people confuse vulnerability with weakness, and that is not the case. Vulnerability is bravery. That is fearlessness. So allowing yourself to be open completely with those big heart expansions coming in, allowing yourself to be receptive to the information coming through, and sitting with all of that so that you can integrate, to be open to receive what wants to come through. I do see a big shift for all of us coming, especially those of you who are doing the work after the equinox. So yeah, I think that's it for now. I just got covered in chills, so there's my confirmation. All right, really quickly, I'm going to try to do a rundown of anything that I missed before the mudra. I'm going to try to scroll up as much as I can without getting too... Hi, Vicky. Didn't see you pop in. Welcome. Flo, I don't know if I said hello to you as well. Thank you for being here. Laura says it does feel like that. Hi, Annie. Other Annie. Welcome, beautiful. Laura, oh my God, this resonates with me so much. I've been stepping into who I really am and not caring what others think of you. Good for you. That's amazing. Good for you, love. Hey, Leanne. Welcome, gorgeous. Just popping in at the talk of an apple. Is this why I've been downing apple juice and eating applesauce like cracker? Oh my God, we were talking about apples on... Oh, so those of you who didn't catch or tune into the egg roulette with Karen and I for a reading roulette the other day, we kept smelling apple. More so Karen, but then after she said it multiple times, I suddenly got a whiff of... We kept smelling apple. So that's interesting. And I think I even said that, bite the apple and remember. Yep, the temptation. And it's also a really great time to, again, nurture your body. I talked about this in the past, to be mindful of what you're doing to your body. Some of you had mentioned feeling the exhaustion. Yes, I have been getting wiped out by about 3 o'clock usually every day, with the exception of today. So that's fascinating. Really listening to your body. Your body is shifting as we're expanding, as we are, going through these expansions, these downloads, these upgrades. What is also happening is the shifting in timeline. We are expanding in our energy body. Just kind of keep it sweet here, short and sweet. We're expanding in our energy body to be able to hold more light. As you do this, you are evolving, you are changing. We talked about in the past how even your appearance might be changing. I'm noticing things, my body wants more plants. I've been saying that my body wants more green, and to be consuming more green. I notice that I'm getting a little nauseous when I think about eating meat. So I'm kind of like really being easy with the amount of meat that I consume. I've been paying attention to my skin a lot more than usual. I started taking belly dancing classes to connect more with my body. So there is a lot of shifting, and those things that you're feeling, it's really about being conscious of what we are putting into our body, not just on a, from a food perspective, but also, the energetic debris that we pick up. It's important to clear your energy, working with pulling in light through your chakras, through your body, salt baths, working with crystals, clearing, being out in nature. It's also important. Also thoughts. What are you telling yourself? What are you feeding your body? Be careful with that, okay? Because we manifest physically what we think. All right. Said anything? Hey, Carmela. Welcome, gorgeous. All right, so we're going to get into the mudra, and then we will wrap this up. Also, I'm thinking, I'm sure you've all noticed a pattern that Monday at 7 has been incredibly difficult for me to go live. I noticed that I'm getting really wiped out on Mondays for some reason. So my goal is to definitely keep Monday for now, but I don't need too much to know when Spirit's sending me signs that something needs to shift. So I am feeling like there's something that I have to adjust with my Moon Day schedule. So I'm gonna try for now to do Moon Day on Mondays at 4. Okay, I know that might not work for everybody, but I'm going to do my best with that. And again, it's always open to divine timing, because what Spirit wants is what Spirit wants. So it happens when it happens, right? So that's what I'm going to do for now and see how that plays out. If it works, I'll keep it. If not, you know, I'll adjust it again. So just bear with me, everybody, all right? All right, mudras. We're going to work with the mudras for awakening the 5 elements. And this is by Alison D. Nicola. For those of you who are unfamiliar with mudras, I'm going to do a really brief rundown, or try to keep it as brief as I possibly can. So mudras are very powerful and effective tools for energetic expansion, enlightenment, consciousness expansion, as well as removal of blocks and chakra balancing. So they're very powerful and effective. They've been being used for thousands and thousands of years. The word mudra itself is actually Sanskrit, which is a very powerful language within itself, believed to be one of the first languages on earth, as well as a form of light language. So I should tell you that the word mudra translates into the word seal, and it acts as like an energetic seal. It's kind of like pushing. To me, I see it as like a button that gets activated by forming these mudras with your hands. Within your hands or your palms, you do have chakras. Within your fingers, you have triggers or activators that are connected to the elements. So when you form these mudras, mudras work with one or more chakras. Each chakra, your energy center, is connected into your 4 main bodies. So your physical body, your emotional body, your mental body, and your spiritual body. So when you utilize and form these seals with your hands, and then you actually add in breath work and focusing your energy or intention. When you do this, it does allow you to channel energy into that natural life force, pranic energy, into your chakras or energy centers. When you do this, it does facilitate the removal of blockage, sending in almost like breath, sending it into those energy centers, which then in turn send it out into those layers, removing blockage within the physical, within the emotional, within the mental, and then within the spiritual, which allows for, again, enlightenment and expansion, facilitating growth and healing. All right, they're very powerful. So powerful that sometimes they do come with caution, which means that if you already suffer from a certain physical ailment in the area of the mudra, so for example, if we pull a mudra that connects into the solar plexus or stomach chakra, and you suffer from gastrointestinal issues, this mudra could overstimulate, bringing all that energy into that area. It could overstimulate those issues, which then causes aggravation, irritation. So it will be up to your discretion as to whether or not you use it. If there's a caution with the mudra, I will let you know that in advance before using it. So what I do is I ask for a mudra to come forward that really does align with our Moon Day message. So this mudra we are able to work with on our own all week long, to just every day facilitating more and more of the growth that we're in need of at this time, or the expansion, right? So using this is very simple. What I do is I pull the card, ask for the guidance, and then we do it together if you choose to do that. Otherwise, I do take a picture of it, post it on my page, and encourage you to save it to your phone or whatever device you'd like to watch on, and then allows you to work with this mudra all week long. Okay? All right. Oh, no problem, sweetheart. Thanks for popping in. Have a good one. All right. Let me get myself nice and adjusted here. All right. So what mudra comes forward for the collective good for the week of March 16, 2021? Oh my. You see? I know a thing or two about a thing or two. I don't make it up, all right? It's the Kalaka Mudra, and it is union. Look at this. So this is what I saw when I saw what looked like the Vesica Pisces. It was 2 circles together, but the middle of the circles, when they touched, they actually wound down around each other like that, which isn't something I think I've ever seen before. It was unusual, and then that's when I kind of tapped into it. I heard entangled. So some things becoming untangled to bring us into union. However, the term quantum entanglement absolutely has to do with divine union and sacred partnerships, but also with our soul family, our soul tribe, also known as our monad. So very, very interesting. So again, facilitating inner union for external union. All right. It assists with intimacy, connection, balance. It enhances the function of the kidneys, the bladder, the reproductive system, balances masculine and feminine energies. Look at that. Cultivates a sense of safety and intimacy. Its element is water, which is ruled or connected into that sacral chakra, the womb space, where that sacral fire gets activated. So there is no caution with this one. We're going to do this together for those of you who choose. All right. I know. I know. I'm telling you, I don't make it up. Just say it. All right. So how we're going to do this one is you're going to cross the wrists with the hands back to back. Cross the wrists with the hands back to back. Oh my goodness. I better take my bracelets off. That didn't help. All right. Hook the little fingers with the tips pointing forward. I don't think I've ever done this one. All right, the tips pointing forward. With each hand, no, pointing upwards, I'm sorry. With each hand, touch the middle and index fingers. Oh my goodness, this is a complex one, guys. Don't kill me. All right. And then extend the ring fingers upward at a slight angle. It doesn't tell you where to place it, so I'm going to say to place it. Mine definitely doesn't look as pretty. I'm going to do that again for everybody, okay? Because I just got the feeling like I see people doing this, all right? So do it again. So you're going to cross and touch the backs of your hands, right? Take your pinky fingers, wrap them around, but they're supposed to go up. However, mine didn't doing that. Take your middle fingers and your index fingers, and you're going to touch them together. The ring finger is going to, mine aren't doing it. They don't want to do it. The ring finger is supposed to extend outward, all right? And it doesn't say anything about the, let me say, with each hand, touch the pads of the thumbs to the middle and index fingers. Oh dear. All right. I'm thinking it's just like this. Hold on. Oh, I see. Oh my goodness, this is getting more and more complicated. Don't laugh at me. All right. So you're bringing these, now it looks like we're bringing them down. So that was confusing. Okay. I still can't make my pinky fingers stay up that way, but doing my best. All right. You're going to bring it down. Sorry. Bring it down into, I'm going to say the area between your heart chakra and your throat. So your higher heart chakra. I'm going to have you drop your shoulders, straighten your spine, close your eyes, and take a nice deep breath in. And blow the breath out of your mouth. Again, deep breath in. And release. Last time, deep breath in. And release. And you can state, I allow a greater bond and connection with all to emerge. I allow a greater bond and connection with all to emerge. I allow a greater bond and connection with all to emerge. And so it is. All right, so when you work with that one on your own, you can do it, the breaths in increments of 3. So maybe the more that you work with it, the more you want to increase the increments. So maybe day 1 working with the first 3 breaths, and the next day move up to 6 breaths, so on and so forth. All right. So I will tell you, that actually just triggered a little bit of anxiety. What that intuitively interprets to me is that I have a little bit of resistance regarding the unification. So not to grounding if you do experience that. And maybe I'm just experiencing that as something that I'm meant to be explaining and sharing with you. I'm not sure. But if you do, just bring yourself back down and make sure you ground your energy afterwards. You know, just even you can just place your hand on your heart and just take some breaths in, just calming your energy down a little bit. Leanne says everything went turquoise. Wow. I will say that when I was doing it, I actually had a vision of what looked like, at first it looked like something was being shown to me like this, and in the center of it was an eye. And then from there, it actually went into a heart. So pretty powerful one. All right, everyone. All right, thank you all so very much for being here with me on this moon day, and I do hope that you enjoyed everything that came through, and please feel free to comment away any experiences. I will get to all the comments as I can see them after the live is done. All right, love and magical blessings, and enjoy the week, and blessed Equinox and Ostara for those of you who celebrate. Bye-bye.